It is winners finals time here, folks, and an opportunity for these two teams to etch their names in history. 5 world champions already on that stage, and with 3 players still chasing the gold, still hunting the dream. Dan, this one's gonna be tasty.
Of course, we know the advantage of getting to that grand final first, having that advantage where you don't have to worry about trying to reset the other team. This is what you are playing for here in the winners finals. And of course, to get one over maybe unlikely rivals. These two have been going at it all season long, and it is SSG who have had the better of Optic Gaming for 4 out of the 7 times. But can they do it again here?
You know what time it is here, Seattle? Shields up, weapons hot, Optic Gaming versus Spacestation.
They really have proved to show us that they are 2 of the best teams in the league. It is so hard to break a difference between the two. In this series layout, you heard the Des talking about it. It's great for both of them. There is no clear victor. It's gonna come down to these minor moments, maybe even mistakes that these players make, or maybe just that one moment of brilliance to make a difference.
Difference maker already on your screen. Snipe rifle in the hands of Bound, pops the shield, somehow stays alive. Eco was there to help him. Lucid on scoreboard down to those shields. He takes the chow, he wins it. And these two teams will jostle for position. Ball down on scoreboard. Lucid now, he's got the wig wobbler in his hands. He's getting tagged up in the back. It's a little bit frantic at the moment. There's some chaos in the air.
It was Lqgend who took him down. Keep an eye on Lqgend throughout this game as well. He averages 26 kills per game when we do see Oddball on live fire. A lot of that is down to his camo and his aggression, but it's Deadzone in this occasion who's been able to pick up that camouflage, and it's given him just the ability to get the backstab here and do a lot of damage.
Damage has been done, 3 dead. Make it 4 now for Space Station. And an opportunity to bring the ball inside house if Optic choose to do so. Deadzone's going to lead the line. Misses the body shot, does not miss the face onto his former teammate, StelluR. He's got another fight on his hands here. Another former teammate in Eco. He wins that one too. Space Station down 3 members now.
It is worth noting as well, Deadzone, when he joined this team, and there was a lot of talk, would he be that objective player that maybe Optic were looking for? Actually, when it comes to Oddball, it's usually TriPPPeY who takes the ball time, and this is why, because Deadzone, he just starts popping off. He's so good with his individual battles as of late.
3 or 4 1v1s, won by Deadzone. And here, this Optic Gaming team is going to need them. 45 seconds gained now for the green wall. And they will move this ball back towards tower. StelluR caught unawares. Deadzone gets another killing spree. Looking towards Bound, backing away, finally shut down.
That was a great life though from Deadzone, from camouflage to taking down 5 different individuals. And it has allowed his team to take quite a significant lead here in the first round of Oddball live fire. Space Station haven't even touched the ball yet. Lucid's had it in his hand for the most part, but now instead he gets to play a little bit with the camouflage.
Ball in neutral position, back down towards scoreboard. Slays favoring Space Station now, and the collapse is going to come. They've got the spot out this camouflage player. Bound scoops up the ball, StelluR goes down. It's a killing spree for him as well. 2 members of Optic Gaming have already registered killing sprees, and Deadzone's got hands on the ball. Eco spawns up. He's pushing over towards dummies, but this is plain sailing for Optic Gaming right now.
Lucid just wasting a couple of bullets because he's seen 2 teammates go down and knows he's pretty vulnerable in this spot, but he'll try and hit one onto Eco, but can't quite pull the trigger. So Eco will recover the sniper, but of course it's not going to have as many bullets as he would like. His Formal is now going to be closed in on.
Formal gets a melee, not good enough for the kill, not enough damage was done on Eco beforehand. StelluR's got ball. They can try and eat away that lead now that Optic Gaming have put together. Eco's only got a sliver of shields left, shiver of health, excuse me. And TriPPPeY and Formal combined to take them out. They haven't really been able to get a setup. They haven't really gotten comfortable just yet, Space Station. All 4 dead again.
We've only seen Optic Gaming lose this map in mode once all year long, and I think we're starting to see why. They're so good at closing down their opposition when they do have the advantageous position with numbers. That extra player on the map can be such a detriment to the other side. They only need 19 more seconds to secure this first round here, but Space Station, we know what they can do as well here on live fire. As soon as they can overturn some of these spawns, which they have, staggered them a little bit, Optic will be on the back foot here.
Formal prioritizing the ball carrier. Heads up play from him. Delaying the seconds that Spacestation can get. Trades come through. 3 dead apiece. Lucid and StelluR last man alive. Lucid wins his 1v1. And an opportunity to scoop up the ball and bring it back towards safety.
Often on this map, it's Formal who steps up for Optic Gaming, but we all know that Lucid on live fire, it's his playground at times. It's how he can so easily transition from one side of the map to the other, but also focus on the objective when he needs to as well. You can see Optic Gaming just making sure that ball is in a vulnerable area, so it's not an easy grab for SSG here.
TriPPPeY and Formal combining, working in tandem with one another. Fortunately, they have been cut down. SSG's has put them in the dirt. And they need him to pick up the pace here, StelluR. 5-3 and 11. It's not something you're usually typical and expecting to see from him. Lucid wins yet another 1v1 with the camouflage. 5 fresh shots into Eco. And they've got ball again. So far, this has been flawless from Optic Gaming.
Yeah, 2 out of the ordinary performances on the side of SSG, though. Both Lqgend and StelluR underperforming based off how they've played so far this season. And it looks like this round should comfortably be going to Optic, but maybe there's one last stand here for SSG.
A little bit of hope. There's so much work to do. So few mistakes can be made now. Deadzone putting down damage. They're playing on house money now, it would seem. All they have to do is play Slayer and frustrate. This round 1 will go their way. StelluR's been picked. Lucid 2. The 3v3 on the map for now. 2 members of SSG inside house. Lqgend thought about stepping outside, but the weather wasn't looking too good. He didn't pack his rain jacket. He goes down. Sniper rifle top middle. StelluR will win that fight.
Enemy has the ball.
And SSG have got hands on ball. SSG's could be about to go Old Testament. Optic Gaming have got to be careful. They can ill afford to hand the goodies over to Spacestation.
This is always the worry against SSG. Even though they're down, even though you might think they're out, they always have that opportunity to get back into a game, especially if you give power weapons to StelluR. 40 seconds on the clock, a long way to go, but Optic are all 4 dead. This round is not over just yet.
Always the worry, always the concern. All the work that you can put in early in the round can be eaten away at. And that's exactly what we're starting to see from Spacestation. StelluR rips one more. And he might not be done just yet. Still got 4 bullets to play with. Formal's gonna come through cut. StelluR just looked away. Body connects onto Deadzone. But Deadzone's got the ball. He got 2 more seconds. TriPPPeY, he's gonna drop down. 2 members of Optic Gaming are there. They secure round 1.
SSG just unable to play that ball over towards green, and it allowed Optic to swoop in, but I think the round was deserved for their opening performance here on live fire. And SSG really struggled to keep up with the pace and the structure that we just saw from Optic Gaming in round 1. But now you've got to replicate it. Now that Oddball is round-based here in Halo Infinite, you can't afford to use that momentum from before. You have to restart, you have to go again on these starting strategies. And Optic have lost 2 here, but TriPPPeY has done a lot of damage over from 3.
It's been a miserable old season for Optic Gaming up to this point. Living in the shadows of Spacestation. 3 of the 4 major championships have gone the way of SSG. The other one going to FaZe in London. Optic Gaming have gotten the 2nd place time and time again. You've been here, you've seen it, you've witnessed it. Is this the time? Is this the Sunday that Optic Gaming finally get their hands on that gold?
Arlington 2nd place, London 2nd place, Atlanta 2nd place, and Salt Lake City, you guessed it, 2nd place. Optic have just not been able to get over that final hurdle, and often the hurdle has been Spacestation. But maybe there is something a little bit different in the water here in Seattle, because Optic have done it before. 2 seasons ago, they lifted that trophy. They became the champions. And Formal, he became a history maker, returning to Halo and once again becoming a world champ. But can he add another to his title? It could all start in this first game. You want to start hot against SSG. But at the moment, Optic Gaming, they've allowed 3 of themselves to fall here, and SSG should get a little bit of ball control.
And for Spacestation, how much would this World Championship mean to them? Year 1, Optic Gaming claim it. Year 2, it's FaZe. Spacestation, the only team of the top 3 yet to claim a World Championship. Bound has not got a World Championship. Lqgend could be the first ever European player to get his hands on the most coveted prize in all of Halo. but they have got to face up against Optic Gaming here, who appear to be in really good form.
And I think what's terrifying is not only if you've got either Optic or SSG in your way, but down in that elimination bracket, of course, we have FaZe Clan. After winning that Game 5 versus Pure, they'll be down like sharks in the water, waiting to have a bite to either of these two that will fall. But SSG are more than capable of coming back into this game in particular. You can already see it is a shallow lead right now in round 2. Optic just defending, and that's good from Lucid. Play ball's very important here against SSG. You don't want to allow them to get that tower set up. 3 dead, it could be 4 if Lucid doesn't escape.
He's isolated, and he's still taking damage. Desperately wants to try and get his shields back. Creates a little bit of magic to get that kill onto StelluR. But the ball still belongs to Spacestation. The camouflage too. And it's in the chest of Bound. Deadzone gets 1. Bound takes him out of the equation. 3 dead for the green wall. And now Spacestation have something to build upon. Spacestation have something to hold with this lead.
All 4 dead again for Optic. Ball in the hands of Spacestation. StelluR can move towards the rest of the team. They're going to be open to hold house here. I think green spawns is potentially where they are, yes. So now Bound's going to be in a really good position to do some damage here.
Bound doing that damage, but just can't quite get the kill. TriPPPeY and Deadzone come back for more. They get the one that they needed. StelluR, because of that, has forced to rotate the ball into a position where he can play it if he is contended. He tosses it towards camouflage, tries to get it into no man's land. 3 members of SSG hit the dirt. Formal's got the sniper rifle, and he could be about to put more there.
I think what's impressed me so far about both teams is they've not relied on their usual oddball player to be picking up time. Everyone has been playing their part. Both Lqgend and TriPPPeY usually hold 46% of the ball time for their teams, but you can see by the stats, they have not been the guy. They have not been the one that's relied on in that scenario. Instead, everyone doing their job as Eco tries to stay alive, takes down Deadzone, all 4 dead again for Optic Gaming.
It's a needs-must situation for Spacestation. They will not be fitting into roles today. Anything that needs to be done will be done by any single player. You want to win championships, you've got to be flexible. You've got to alter things on the fly, and there's very few better than Spacestation at doing just that. Figuring teams out and doing what needs to be done to win the game. Eco connects with 1. Ball's down. And they've scooped it up once more, with intentions of bringing it back towards tower.
SSG were being outslayed by about 8 in the first round, but now they are outslaying Optic. They've been able to get right back into it thanks to this round, and a lot of it thanks to this man. Eco, 25 kills on the board now. Is he in that championship form that we have seen many a time in Halo? But boy, would he love to lift a Halo Infinite World Championship.
Deadzone and Lucid in the grave. Lqgend is there too. Numbers advantage favor Spacestation for the moment. Camouflage has just popped up, and that's going to mean Eco has got to drop the ball and try and apply some pressure. TriPPPeY scooped it up. One of the win conditions have gone towards Optic now. Eco has it all to do. When do you play this ball? You know the pressure's going to come. It's coming to the shape in the form of TriPPPeY. He gets 1. The ball will not play. It'll be caught in the lip, and it's in the grasp of Optic Gaming.
One of the advantages of having the camouflage, of course, you can just catch them off guard a little bit, but I think you mentioned it. Maybe you could have played it preemptively, expecting that push to happen, knowing the camouflage has been grabbed, but you also want to get as much time as possible. Try and push it right to the brim. As TriPPPeY looks to find yet another, and he's got 28 kills. Usually he's the one holding the ball, but he says, actually, I'm having the game of my life.
33 seconds to lead. Sniper rifles down top middle. Formal scooped it up, but he has not been able to get away from it. Eco with snipe, Eco with ball. He'll be looking to pass this one over and go to work. As he brings it back towards tower, you know he wants to pass this ball, or indeed the sniper rifle over. But 3 members of Optic Gaming are in the grave. Seconds starting to dwindle away now for the green wall, as Spacestation will answer back in round 2. 1-1 now the score.
Such a dominant first round from Optic Gaming, but what a response that is from SSG. And again, they show why they are the current champions of LAN back in Salt Lake City. And of course, in Atlanta as well. Can they make it 3 in a row and make it a world championship? It's a long road though, that's the thing. You get to those grand finals, you might be thinking you have the advantage, but we've seen resets happen. I mean, SSG did it back in Salt Lake City, of course. Remnants of that maybe lingering here for Optic Gaming.
Of course, it was 1 year ago when FaZe Clan reset the bracket onto Optic. To perform the same feat. It really has been a year and a bit of misery for Optic. Looking to change their fortunes once and for all here. But Eco, he's not interested in that story. He doesn't care about what woes Optic Gaming might be feeling right now. He only wants the gold. That's what they've been playing for all season long. That's why they've been scrimming day in, day out.
Formal averages about 27 kills per game here on live fire oddball, but he's only at 18 at the moment. It hasn't been the formal performance you're used to seeing, but often he is the one who gets this camouflage, gets to go to work like this. He was denied a lot of that in round 2 by SSG. 3 of his teammates have fallen, so he has really got to try and do his best to stop this ball from being taken to tower.
2 shots at the Legend's back. TriPPPeY's grenade arrives right on time. Formal will skip away now. They've got the pick they need. As a matter of fact, they've got 2. So Eco and Bound have to fight off the back foot. Try to do some damage and wait for the teammates to spawn back up again. Eco has not been cleared from tower. He finally has by Formal, but he was able to bite back himself. Bound with a triple kill.
SSG starting to wake up a little bit. SSG starting to pummel Optic Gaming into the ground here on live fire. When Bound starts to pop off like this, you have to be concerned. You need to shut him down. Win a piv. Stop giving him this confidence to just push into any fight, but Bound's in that kind of form right now that he can maneuver his way anywhere around the map and will take all of the fights he can.
Round 1 was so good from Optic, but you knew the response was going to come from Spacestation. They were not going to let this game slip away. Now Bound, the last man standing for his team, finally taken care of. TriPPPeY with a double kill. Camouflage pops up, and the green wall are trying to escape with this ball, whilst also having an influence on the camouflage. 3, make it 2 go down. Eco and Legend in the grave. And the camouflage grab should come for the green wall.
Well, SSG give up the camouflage. How will they be feeling about it? One way to find out. Let's jump into a listen with SSG.
One here.
Camo screens. We can follow up off.
Skiller or what?
Screens, use behind screens.
Nej, Rick. Men nej, så till nej.
Do one shot today, hit on.
Nej, one shot. Kommer nærmere.
All small weak. Okay, one shot tap. Nice, another one. Tap A. One shot tap A.
Where? Bottom of Rick. Snap it, bottom of killer. Snap it, killer. Careful. Snap it, killer. Screen, snap it. Pushing him inside. To your left. Respawn. They're gonna be big door to A.
Yeah, hitting rat.
One. Back in. Playing a wrap. Okay, Devis also bien. Back in. Check him.
He killed me, guys. He's in the pit. On the right pillar.
Vent, in the vent. Okay, Devis.
Going top mid. Looking at ball.
TriPPPeY. The 2 defenders.
Nice, Kevin. I can't. They're playing for when you go tower.
Middle or what?
I'm here. Last two. I got ball.
Well, Spacestation still have the lead, but Optic have been trying to claw their way back into this one. Despite all their attempts, SSG just seem to have an answer, and a lot of it has come down to Bound. This POV we've been on for quite some time. He has done so well at keeping Optic at arm's length here.
Continues to pop shields. Pop the dreams of Optic Gaming here. Here's Eco, soaring forward, dropping down now on the Deadzone. Takes care of business. Checks him out nice and early. And for Formal inside house, he's got to get moving forward now. He's got to push. Ball down bottom middle. Couple of kills being traded out left and right. Formal goes down, as does Lucid. Bound and Eco join them. TriPPPeY's got ball though. Trying to eat away at that lead, trying to get away to the cover of Deadzone. Camouflage has been grabbed, but fortunately, Deadzone's between a rock and a hard place, and that hard place is Eco.
Maybe Optic trying to go back to the old-fashioned way, give TriPPPeY that ball, but the problem is TriPPPeY might hold 46% of the ball time throughout the season, but then he only averages around 0.9 KD. He has been the one who's been getting those kills so far. So I almost want to keep that ball off of TriPPPeY, allow him to continue with his dominance. But then you look at the other side, you've got Bound, 38 kills now. StelluR's now found 37. At one point, StelluR was only on 5 kills in that first round, and it was looking concerning. But SSG have responded every single time. This is a 1v1, but it will be a trade.
Trade's better for SSG than Optic Gaming right now. We're into the final minute, into the final knockings of game number 1 here. Still tied up 1-1. Optic Gaming started off nice and hot. Spacestation bounced back though. The winds seem to be in the SSG sails right now. Getting kills, lots of Optic players down to no shields. 3 dead go the green wall. Time is starting to run out. The sand is slipping through the glass.
SSG chant starting in the crowd now as they start to realize that SSG closing in on this first map victory. 20 seconds for Optic to make a push. SSG are just going to play Slayer here. They are going to defend this ball with their lives.
3 go down for Spacestation, so babysitting the ball has not gone well. Perhaps you don't want to leave them with your kid because that setup's being broken wide open. The Deadzone's got the ball nice and safe in his hands. The problem they have, it's got to be perfect now. No more mistakes, no more errors. Formal with the sniper rifle. He needs to hit his final form. 3 bullets to play with. Ego towards dummies. They've got Lqgend in the grave. StelluR could be about to join them. Bounds on Nest, fighting off the back foot, continuing to drive forward, and Optic Gaming run out of time. Spacestation take game 1.
Optic Gaming run out of time, run out of steam, and SSG take full advantage of it and give the fans something to scream and shout about it. It was looking a little bit bleak after round 1. But SSG, just as they did in the Salt Lake City Grand Final, will take oddball live fire. Even though it took them a little while to get going, perhaps they took some of that steam out of Optic and put it into their own tray.
On the desk, Coach talked about how Lqgend has been a little bit quiet and how they need him to show up on Championship Sunday. The occasion cannot get the better of him. He's already won 3 majors. But the big one, it's in front of him. So close, in fact, he can almost touch it. They win this series, they will have one hand on that trophy, and they are 1 game to the good.
I think what's more impressive is that coming into this game, Lqgend is arguably one of the best live fire oddball players that we have in the league. He did not replicate that success, yet SSG still won, and that bodes well. If you're going to win a championship, sometimes you need to win the games even when one of your players might not be playing at their very best. But again, that's what SSG do. Someone will always pick up the slack. Sure, Lqgend might not have been getting the kills, the flashy plays. He didn't even have much of the oddball, but he was doing damage. And he was giving that communication. You heard it in the listenings. A lot of very key info that was given to the likes of Bound so that he could go on and get 41 kills. SSG take the lead here in the winners' final.
On the other side of things, Optic Gaming, round 1, so good. TriPPPeY, by the way, 42 kills. But it doesn't matter, because you're going to need 50 kills to win this next one. Slayer on Solitude, Dan. Who are the players to watch? What way is this one expected to go?
SSG is 6-2 in the season on Slayer Solitude. However, it has been a 50% win rate for Optic. They are 5-5. It hasn't been kind to them. And they really are going to be one of these teams that has to look at SSG and say, how do we beat them if they are able to overturn us that comfortably like they did in the previous game? And these are the stats from the season. I mean, Optic have done amazing in terms of recent Slayers, 5 wins in a row, but can they do it on Solitude against SSG, who have been so good? In terms of players, has to be StelluR for me. When there's a shock rifle on the map, you know full well StelluR is going to be there waiting in the wings, but also why he's so good at Solitude, his bottom mid confidence. He will just marauder around the map, he will find those angles, and he doesn't care if he has to take those 1v1. So expect him to go big for SSG in this game.
And it was something we've seen yesterday in the matchups, Spacestation versus FaZe. And FaZe might have went back and done VOD review and what happened in that series? Well, for large parts of it, we just got StelluR'd. Optic Gaming have to ensure they do not get StelluR'd.
They need to make sure they actually bring Formal out and put him into that final form that you speak of. He usually averages around 12 kills per game on Slayer Solitude, which is pretty impressive across the board. And why does he do that? Camo priority is usually huge for him, and he has that confidence in taking pips. But Deadzone also has been unbelievable. This addition to Optic Gaming, it was all about, well, you know, we'll bring him in, he'll do assists, he'll do the objective, but actually, he has stepped up in the slaying department, which is maybe not where they expected him to be, Optic.
Deadzone, prevalent in the Slayers. KD with a 1.45. And of course, he was dropped from that team sitting across the stage from him. And what revenge would taste like when you do it on the biggest and grandest stage of them all, here at the Halo World Championships in Seattle. You know he desperately wants it. Tired, sick and tired of those second places. Feeling like we're not good enough. The decisions, the mistakes that were made in the series, have they finally right some of those wrongs? Have they been able to adjust the formula and finally get their hands on that gold?
I think for Deadzone is his damage output as well. It's how many bullets he just lays down across the map. If you walk out and you start to get tagged, it's probably Deadzone. If we had the same stats like we used to in Halo of actually shots fired, I mean, I'm sure that Deadzone would be at the very top. These are some of the statistics I've been talking about in terms of win rates. Slayer Solitude, SSG 6-2, Optic 5-5. But as the series layout ebbs and flows here, Jersey, you can see it is fairly even. This is arguably the biggest difference, this map too. How much could that hurt Optic Gaming? Because as you go into 3, 4, and 5, it is still good showings for SSG.
And for these two teams, how much will experience play a factor? So much of it on that stage. These players are no stranger to grand finals, to winning the championships. We speak about formal, but Lucid, year one superstar, MVP. Optic Gaming need him now more than ever.
I think last event I was talking about Lucid stats and how across Slayers in general, Lucid was the man. He was the one that was always putting up the numbers, whether it be the kills, whether it be his actual KD, whether it be the damage. Lucid knows how to play Slayers. He is just so confident in the way he moves around any map and taking those pivs as well. But if SSG can isolate him, if they can find him looking for those 1v1s and take 2v1s instead, Optic may be in trouble here on Solitude.
The stats dictate this one is Space Stations for the taking. But it's Championship Sunday. You can throw the form book out the window. Will players be daunted by the occasion, blinded by the lights in that main stage? More money up for grabs and you can count. But more than that, it's the prestige. We're underway in the shootout, game 2, rocking and rolling.
Camouflage going to be the first point of contact. Bound might just be able to get this one for free. Oh, just misses that jump. And those little moments, those minor mistakes can make big differences. Optic can maybe capitalize on that now, a 2-1 lead.
Lqgend was forced backwards. Lucid gets the kill. StelluR situating over towards Yard. Bound continues to jiggle peek with Deadzone. Camouflage is up, Lucid goes for it. You spoke about Optic Gaming prioritizing those camouflage grabs. We're seeing it on our screens, and they're cutting Space Station down.
As long as they don't cut themselves down, they might be all right. Sometimes with these top teams, their biggest enemy can be themselves, though. Just gotta make sure you don't get in your heads, you don't get too worried about the occasion that's in front of you. 7-4, Optic lead. And Lucid still has camo to play with, and he's found a wild Lqgend to take the fight, and he doesn't miss.
Oof, just about escapes, or almost escapes. Eco somehow shoots him in the backside as he soared towards the sky and takes care of Deadzone as well. A 3-kill game. Eco retreats to S1, faced up with TriPPPeY. Bound was there. 2 shock rifle shots connect, neither one of them hitting the face though. And now, a 3-kill game as Deadzone puts more space between these two teams. Optic really need to get this Slayer.
That was a great demonstration of SSG in general, by the way. Eco in trouble, tries to hit the 2 headshots to maybe just win that individual fight, but was calling out the entire time. And Van was like, all right, okay, I'll help. Don't you worry, Sunshine. He's right there, just in the nick of time. SSG, they are so good at listening to one another. You can very easily, in Halo Infinite, get bogged down in your own individual fights, and you think they're more important than the fight that's happening from your teammate. You can do both if you play it correctly and you just join in on those fights at the right time.
And it's something that's not touched upon often enough in esports. Yes, these are some of the best players in the game, but emotions can get to you. When you're underperforming just a touch, do you start to alter your game and make plays that you wouldn't normally do? You have got to make sure that those seeds of doubt don't creep in and you stick to what got you a ticket to the dance in the first place as Lqgend gets a double kill.
That's massive from Lqgend as well. TriPPPeY should have secured that kill and he'll know it. And that's what you're talking about. The own mental battle you have with yourself after you miss a couple of shots. You just have to shake it off, a little ogre twitch, and then you're back in the game.
Lqgend continuing to output damage. He's lost a couple of teammates along the way though. He's forced off of S4. And Optic Gaming know exactly where he is stationed. They want to come and disrupt his workflow. He's desperately trying to escape, trying to scarper away. Optic Gaming are not interested in letting that happen. But here is StelluR. And there is the shock rifle in his hands. And importantly, he is shut down.
Optic Gaming are doing so well at hunting down the SSG members. That makes me think the communication is on point. And we can always find out just how on point it is with a listening. Let's jump into Optic Gaming.
Yo, guys, reset. Watch your back. Yo, one guy already dead. Listen, reset.
One shot bound. S1 shot bound.
I have a shock. Watch your back in yard, Joey.
Camo's at 20. Alright, yeah, hold on. Down to the lift. Going. You turn right now. Back to gate right now.
Darcy's on respawn, I think.
In blue.
Yeah, just watch yard. Go yard.
One try to put him in. You guys are blue.
No, fast is up. Getting it.
One guy's 4.
Two here. Push out.
Watch out.
There. Watching.
In. Let's you watch.
Two shots. Top there. S4.
Hitting push. Down to the hammer weak. He's bottom shot. He's still on weak. We're coming out.
One shot yard here. It's a thrust. Yo, top gold. Yeah, slow this down. Yo, I can go out. Yo, top mid. Yeah, I'm waiting.
Bottom mid, two shot.
Yeah, Kim guys like poster area.
Okay.
Just one touch.
Just holding S4 right now. Yo, one guy in blue watching me.
We're shorter S1.
He's got like 10 seconds of camo.
Yep, holding S4 for camo right now.
Yo, top mid. Yo, two top mid. There's two top mid bound. Both top mid guys. We should all look towards the posters, bro. We should all look posters.
Yo, S4 camo. Half shield, top mid.
Top mid on one shot.
Two here. Two top mid. What's S4? Jumping out.
Hotel.
Top side.
Truck.
Oh, you're in this hotel?
U-turn.
Biggest takeaway, slow things down. Optic Gaming throw away their lead. SSG start to take control here. Very minor things though, like just acknowledging which player has thrust, for example, where you need to be watching. And there was a big call, we need to watch posters. But sadly, the push was so good from SSG, they collapsed at the right time. They couldn't all look posters, they all had to focus on their own fights. And now they find themselves 5 down, make it 6 here, Optic Gaming.
Knowing about a problem and fixing it are two entirely different things. 11-5-5 for StelluR right now. And he is instrumental in everything Spacestation are doing here to see success. A 5-kill advantage. Optic Gaming all over towards Nest. He continues to isolate, but Deadzone shuts him down, and a massive kill for Optic. But the French Phenoms rolling on in to get a double kill.
Yeah, great work from Lqgend to just finish up that damage that StelluR was able to output. But again, it's the confidence we're seeing from SSG, how they're moving, how aggressive they're being onto Optic Gaming. As soon as they sense a weakness here, as soon as they know there's an individual on the map, they are just holding forward. Look at this, they are hunting Formal. They know he's somewhere around this corner and they want that kill, but Formal has escaped.
For how long has Formal escaped? Because SSG are hunting like dogs. They're barking now. Ahead by 5. Lqgend recognizes that he's about to get pressurized. He's wasting those shots. Formal with the camouflage now. StelluR down to no shields.
It's so smart though from Lqgend. I don't think he was even under that much pressure, but you recognize the win condition for Optic Gaming. How do they beat us in this game when they are down by 6 or 7? They would get that shock rifle, they would set up, and they would start to pick us off one by one. Lqgend denies that by wasting the ammo.
And it's minimalizing risk as well. They recognize Formal's got the camouflage. The only way they can start to really swing this game back in their favor is by him dying and the shock rifle going in Formal's hands. Heads up play from SSG. Lucid just about escapes over towards Silo. Deadzone will apply some pressure on the bound. Lqgend was there though to get the kill that bound put down. That duo are working in tandem right now. 7, 8, and 7 for Bound. Lqgend coming to the fore now in this layer. 14, 4, and 12.
Yeah, it's a great response from Lqgend after a somewhat disappointing map 1, but of course, if you win the map, it doesn't really matter for your individual performance. However, Optic Gaming, 4 kills on the board. SSG just got wiped, and it is now 42 to 40. SSG looked like they were in control, but this is also what Optic can offer, right? If they do slow it down at that right time, they can really punish you by picking you up one by one.
Optic Gaming can show so much resilience. They're never quite out of it. They never say die. They've got the Goonies mantra. 2 kills separate these two juggernauts here in the winners finals. Deadzone playing patient, standing still, waiting for damage, and it's come the way of Lqgend. The Frenchman falls, killing spree for Deadzone. And he keeps on moving and grooving forward. Double kill locked in. We're all tied up.
Well, what a game this has been on Solitude. Deadzone, the positioning we just saw from him, so much confidence to stand where he did. Wait for that damage from Formal and capitalizes on it. And at the moment, he looks like he is happy to take any fight, as now Optic take the lead here, up by 2. SSG starting to fade away.
Optic Gaming have brought the spirit level in game 2. They're starting to look straight. They're starting to look even. They're starting to find their feet. 2 kill lead for them. They flipped the script in the dying embers of this game.
It's another camouflage for Formal. He's so good at prioritizing it here on Solitude. But where do you go? You want to try and find an isolated fight, but also provide information to the rest of the team at the same time. Shock Rifle's going to be up in 10, but his camo's going to disappear before they can make a play for it. And now the camo's up, the jig is up, and Optic will just have to retreat here.
They've got the lead though. They can force SSG to make the play and make the play. They do. They take the lead now. 1 more kill for Spacestation. And they're marauding forward on the hunt. Formal could be the victim. Formal falls to the Frenchman Lqgend. Spacestation, 1 game away from the grand finals.
Did Optic just fall victim to playing themselves? Maybe a little bit too slow with the camouflage. Didn't make a call. Waited and thought maybe they could just play a little bit of defense. Maybe they can hold back and force SSG to do something. But when you give SSG the chance to take the initiative, they will make a play. They have so much confidence at the moment. We've seen how they were moving around the map. And as soon as they got that first pick, they flew at Optic Gaming. And they made it count. And SSG now 1 map away from that grand final.
How many times did Space Station do that? Cast your mind back to Salt Lake City. They were 2 kills away from being eliminated at top 12. Cloud9 played cautious, Cloud9 played hesitant, and Space Station capitalized on that, punished it. Did we see the same thing from Formal with the camouflage? Waiting for his teammates to make a play call, waiting for his teammates to do some damage that just never came.
So close are these games, though, as expected in the winners final, and there was the reaction from Lqgend. Smiles all round on the side of SSG as they know they are closing in on potentially another victory over their rivals Optic Gaming.
Up next, King of the Hill on Recharge. Game 1 and 2. Now in the history books, the ink is starting to dry. Oddball live fire 2-1. And as we just seen, 50-47 StelluR on Solitude. Up next though, the Recharge King 7-3 versus Space Station's 9-2. This one's very close.
Yeah, somewhat favors SSG, I guess you could look at it, but I think that realistically this one could go either way. 2 players I want to focus on, you guessed it, StelluR and Lucid, the main slayers of these squads. Not for just their slaying ability though. When it comes to King of the Hill, both StelluR and Lucid are usually the ones getting the most time. They are in the hill the most. They want to be amongst it. They want to take their slaying power and start to just inject it into a hill. Take on any fight. But then you've also got to look at the fact that Shock Rifle features on Recharge. Both those players happy to grab it, happy to get that grapple so they can take that position, re-find a spot, re-find an angle, and then take those individual fights that can change the game for their team.
Taking a look at the KD leaderboard then. Snakebite on top. Optic Gaming's Lucid in second. Falcade for Sentinels, but then bringing us up in 4th and 5th, Lqgend and TriPPPeY. Optic Gaming and Spacestation ever prevalent in the top 5. Like you say, you expect Lucid to be the difference maker with that shock rifle on recharge. And Optic Gaming are all out of lives here in this winners finals. They lose one more and they're getting sent down to a very hungry and waiting FaZe Clan.
And Lucid usually looks his very best when he's playing with that confidence, when he's trusting his teammates so he can move around that map freely and look for those individual fights. But when you are 2-0 down, those risks aren't going to be taken as often. You're going to maybe play a little bit more cautious, and I wonder if Optic will lose a little bit of their flair playing that way. And it is very hard to disregard the scenario you find yourselves in. It's hard to forget that you are 2-0 down here, but you almost have to play this one like it is 0-0. Forget the fact that you are 1 away from being knocked into the elimination.
For Optic Gaming, the task hasn't changed. They were always going to need 3 wins. You just have to do it now without losing another. For those 4 boys on the stage, they desperately want this Sunday to have a different ending to every Sunday it's come before. And on the other side, they're quite happy for this Sunday to play out the way it has more often than not this season.
Time and time again, SSG have found themselves in grand finals. They've gone on to win so many trophies this year, but if they were to fall short here in Seattle, if they didn't win the Halo World Championship, that season is always going to be looked back on as a failure. These guys want nothing less than 1st place. And it's so difficult to be amongst that environment as well, because if things do go wrong, fingers start to be pointed. So you want to make sure you are playing your very best, but right now SSG are playing at the very tippy top. For Optic Gaming, someone has to take this game by the scruff of the neck. They really need to demonstrate now why they deserve to be in a grand final here. If you go 3-0 down into that elimination bracket, FaZe are going to be rubbing their hands together at the prospect of playing you when you are flat.
Someone on Optic Gaming has got to take charge, has got to take over here in Game 3. It's been smooth sailing up until this point for Spacestation. Optic have got to show signs of life. And it's got to come through Lucid or Formal. They are the ones that are expected to do the slays. They're the ones expected to do the damage, to be the difference for their teams, to drive them forward. It is a big game. It is a big series, and we wouldn't have it any other way. We're rolling once more in Game 3.
Lucid averages around 16.5 kills a game on Recharge King of the Hill, but he needs to better that. Needs to be up in the 20s for me if Optic are going to be able to find a victory here. And he starts off hot, not only getting the kill, not only being in the hill, as I expected, but also gaining that shock rifle. And a chance to try and find the SSG spawners.
Lqgend's got camo though. TriPPPeY's bottom elevator. Lucid's in Whirlpool, information downloaded, passed over to his teammates. That sticky grenade's gonna come at the nick of time. A big trade from TriPPPeY. He's gonna give up bottom elevator for a moment. There is some space there for Spacestation to play with. More importantly though, camouflage, no longer an issue, no longer a concern, while Lucid remains just that.
And even though Optic haven't got that much hill time thus far, mainly because Lucid had to step out of it with this shock rifle, they are controlling the map. Just get a little bit of hill time as you go. Get a kill, more hill time. Get another, more hill time. It's a step-by-step process, and it's working so far.
Lucid's hitting those shots. He's doing the damage. He's holding top elevator for his team. Lqgend's gonna sneak in and just evade the shot of one. Will not evade the second one though. Lucid trying to maneuver his hitbox out of the way. All 4 dead now for Spacestation Gaming.
This is the start Optic needed. They needed something hot to try and cool down SSG. Good nades though, great actually nades from Spawn, but I'm not sure it's actually going to connect with Deadzone. Somehow Deadzone is avoiding all this shrapnel, finally falls. But there's just so much time that's been gathered. I don't think SSG will be able to get this hill, but they will give it a bloody good go.
You know, Deadzone was sitting in that corner. I'm dead, I'm dead, I'm dead. Wait, I'm not, oh, I am dead. Finally taken care of. Like you say, that one bit of shrapnel finally connects. But they've got so much time gained in this first hill. New Optic now, just slay out and take control. 3 dead for SSG. TriPPPeY inside the hill. And Optic Gaming strike first, and they strike fast.
The loaded A strike first, but they also got all 4 dead, plus the camouflage, plus the next hill. Trending towards a comfortable 2-0 if they carry on playing in this manner. SSG just haven't been able to break the structure, break the wall of Optic Gaming. We have seen, in map number 1, we saw this, where Optic started off hot, started off incredible, but SSG, as soon as they got given an inch, they took a mile, and they were able to fight their way back into the game.
And it's such a contrast in play styles between these two teams. Optic Gaming, structure, plans, Spacestation, orchestrated chaos. And they've won this engagement back, Blue. They've cleared out the riffraff of Optic Gaming. And they can step inside the hill now. The Frenchman's got toes inside.
Needs to be careful for shots coming from glass. Grenades will be the first to arrive, though, well avoided. You really do have to play the survival game when you feature down in the bottom blue hill. Very vulnerable to a lot of damage that can come your way, but Lqgend also listening to callouts now, getting aggressive when he needed to.
Somehow, some way, Lqgend turns that fight on its head. StelluR making himself a difficult kill, trying to give Lucid the wiggles. But Season's 1 MVP shuts that one down. Eco in long haul, pushing towards blue plat. Continuing to drive forward for his team. Deadzone's there to offer some support for his teammates. Optic Gaming have a little bit of a lead here on this second hill, but it's been scrappy, it's been frantic, and that usually the circumstances that SSG like to thrive in.
Lucid's done very well staying alive here, and actually I think he went unnoticed at the back of blue. And now he's going to be able to be a real thorn in their side. If he can hit the shots, gets a little bit of help in the end. It's good time from Optic, but SSG have done very successfully at stopping Optic from getting too much control and finding the camo.
Camo cut down. Lqgend will fall along with him. Eco prioritizes staying alive inside blue. As here comes the cavalry. StelluR was there for a moment, but as you can see, he's hanging out of the wall, and he's not hanging out. He's out of here. Deadzone giving the wiggles. Bound is there to help, though. Eco will fall, as will Bound. Lucid clears house, puts down the shroud screen to give himself just an added bit of cover.
This has been a messy hill, but Optic have still been finding success. You mentioned it, usually SSG thrive in this environment, but when Lucid's playing like this, 15 kills. I wanted a performance where he found around 20, and it looks like he is trending that way. SSG, though, they are struggling. It's 2-0 now for Optic. StelluR's 2-12, by the way. From my 2 players to watch, there is a clear leader right now, and that is Lucid.
We called for someone to be the difference. And Lucid stepping up and taking this game by the scruff of its neck. TriPPPeY's there too, long-time teammates. They've been a duo since 2016, and they want another Halo World Championship. Lucid's got a backstab. TriPPPeY's there again. Damage is being done. Lqgend's trying to get away. Lucid's not interested in letting him. Takes him out of the equation before ultimately falling.
Formal's got a shot, Formal's got a double, and Formal's got the hill! Oh! StelluR hasn't had many kills, but that one could have been a very important one to shut down Formal.
4 kills. That one was most certainly the most valuable. Camouflage up any moment. TriPPPeY knows exactly what Bound is like and where he's likely to be positioned. An insta-explode just to deny some area bottom tower. Here comes StelluR for the camouflage. TriPPPeY just looks away. Lucid is there. Lucid will chase the camouflage player, but Lucid cannot shut StelluR down.
Don't allow StelluR to get back into this game. And the objective is clear now for Optic. It is playtime. You have a 2-0 lead, 50 seconds left on the clock. You don't need to be in this hill. But we saw what happened last time Optic tried to play a little bit of time. SSG were able to capitalize. Camo is doing work at the moment. A lot of damage coming out of StelluR. And is he starting to wake up at the right time?
If you're an Optic Gaming fan, you want StelluR where he was, on those 4 kills, on the fringes of the game, not having too much of an influence. But all of a sudden, he's starting to grow into it now. He's finding his feet, he's finding his shots.
Nervy times for Optic Gaming. Do you even consider just giving this one up? Well, with that pick, probably not. And you hear the zip. Everyone trying to close in on the SSG players that are still alive, but they are holding their ground. StelluR at the forefront of it, but he gets shot in the back by his own team. And also, Formal was there to clean up.
It was 5 without reply for StelluR. Killing streak was locked in. Formal's got control of tower. 20 seconds left to play. The play call is obvious. The play call is clear. It's Slayer from here on out, just as like Spacestation done in the oddball in game 1. Optic are going to give them a taste of their own medicine. Come get the objective and take it from our cold, dead fingers.
4 seconds left, and it looks like with only one remaining player, this one is going to be an Optic Gaming win as they stay alive here in the winners finals and send us into a map 4.
Optic Gaming on the board. 2-1 now to score. And is the pendulum going to start swinging back towards green? StelluR didn't have the influence he would have liked in the early stages of the game, and it gave Spacestation so much work to do. And Optic capitalizing on anybody underperforming on the other side of the stage, and that's exactly what you expect.
But Lucid did step up. He did, as we mentioned, take the game by the scruff of the neck and said, look, I'm not going to go quietly into an elimination final. Actually, I'd rather be in the grand final here. Averaging usually 16.5 kills. He smashed that in this game, closing in on 20 plus. And I think that when you watch Lucid do that against you, again, you say, well, what else can we do when he's winning that many fights? He just seemed to be everywhere, did Lucid. Engagements like that, when his back's against the wall, he should die. He just stayed alive. And even though there was a late resurgence from StelluR, as he came back to life, sadly, it was just a little bit too late.
As the highlights continue to roll, and Optic Gaming just start to roll, all of a sudden the air in the camp will be starting to feel a little bit fresher, less stale. We're not going down to that elimination final without a fight, without battling first, leaving our mark on this winners finals. On the horizon, capture the flag on Empyrean. Dan, tell me something.
It's a very different story for these two teams. Optic Gaming are better at defending a flag. On average, they're only letting 0.9 caps go through against them, especially with their flags being stolen around 3.6 times per game. They have a 75% return rate. But on the other side, SSG are far better at attacking that flag. Are they going to be able to attack so much that they can take down this map? Formal, when he pops off, he averages around 18.8 kills per game on Empyrean because of the sniper, because of the power-up control. He will be lurking around that overshield any given opportunity.
That was his capture the flag stats at the Halo World Championships. Almost with a 2.0 KD. The human UAV, he can give you information, but he can also terminate opponents. And these foes across the stage, they're all too familiar. Spacestation have had Optic Gaming's number all season long. Are they gonna flip the script here? Capture the flag on Empyrean. Spacestation need one more to drive themselves into the grand finals with that winner's advantage. For Optic Gaming, they couldn't lose anymore. They won the one they needed. Just 2 more now. But to send us to a game 5, to send us to a shootout, they have got to beat SSG on Capture the Flag Empyrean, which is one of their strongest map and mode combinations all season. We're rolling once more. StelluR's got the sniper rifle, and he's going for the overshield.
Taking away the overshield from Formal is important. Giving it to StelluR with a sniper even more so, but Lucid has a sniper to play with as well. And at the moment, it's just about surviving, and it's going to be difficult when StelluR's hunting you down.
StelluR's in green. Trying to isolate Lucid, who's just not giving him a pixel. But he knows how important Lucid is here. If they have ambitions to get this flag out of Optic Gaming space, they've got to take care of the sniper rifle. StelluR's going to be forced back to take care of Deadzone on the flank. He gets 2. Deadzone and TriPPPeY are in the respawn screen. Lucid's sitting top tower. Formal's getting kills. StelluR's answering back in kind. And this flag will not drive forward. This flag stopped in its tracks.
Yeah, Optic done very well to shut down the flag there and send it back home. Again, that is the defense I was talking about from Optic Gaming. Even though that flag might get pulled, they always find a way to send it back home and deny the capture. And a player I want to focus on is going to be TriPPPeY, because he has been insane with his flag steals so far this tournament. 13 steals so far this weekend. He's going to be the one who's trying to get into the enemy base, trying to get behind enemy lines. And SSG just need to keep an eye on that flank. You heard and you saw the prioritization from StelluR previously when Deadzone was trying to make his way round. They said, look, we can't allow them to get behind us here, because that's going to be Optic's plan. Get behind enemy lines, disrupt them, and then get that flag on the move.
You talked about Spacestation's offense. More importantly, you highlighted Optic Gaming's defense. Much of this game so far has been played inside the green wall's half. Lucid and Deadzone get kills. There's been a couple of flag steals already. None of them have made it over the halfway point just yet. Is that about to change here? Lqgend collapses on the base once more after getting the flag pull. TriPPPeY's dispatched. Deadzone could be about to join him very shortly. The Frenchman gets shut down by Deadzone.
StelluR doesn't touch that flag either. He said this flag's done. We'll go again and we will retry it. On average, Spacestation capture 45% of their pulls, but that's 0 for 2 in the early stages here on Imperium. But now they have a rocket launcher to work with. 3 are dead on the side of Optic, and SSG will continue to push.
The boombox over the shoulder of Eco. And he's entering the base, churning out nothing but rock and roll right now. He's going to get pressurized, he's going to hit the ground with a rocket, and he's not going to get a kill. Not the kind of music he was trying to play. And all of a sudden, Optic Gaming's defense, you can see exactly why they're so good. Shutting down any momentum Spacestation have and forcing them into retreat now.
And it's definitely a game plan that could work here. Absorb that pressure. Allow SSG to keep on pushing, but hold strong, hold the fort. All it takes then is all 4 dead on the defensive side, and then you go for the counter. You regain that map control. Maybe a rocket launcher and an overshield to go alongside with it. And you catch them when they least expect to hear SSG.
But how long can they withstand the pressure? How long before the dam breaks? Formal's position top tower. And he's got that sniper rifle almost like it's a bow and arrow from Legless. But which one of Spacestation's going to be that Urukai to jump in and breach the wall, breach the defense? Formal's got the snipe. Bound's being pressurized. They know exactly where he's positioned. This game continues to swing back and forth, but they've shut down the snipe.
Again, though, that was TriPPPeY trying to lurk around, trying to get that flank and get behind enemy lines, but he was caught out. Wasn't quite able to do enough damage to Bound to shut him down. But every single time SSG start to approach, Optic seem to have an answer. But SSG need to put some of these big individual kills into moves toward the flag. TriPPPeY again trying to get behind SSG. Once more gets caught out though by StelluR.
The deadlock yet to be broken. And our Optic Gaming's intention is just to play on the counter-attack here. Soak up that pressure, push forward, get that one flag cap, because that might be all you need.
All it takes is that one time where TriPPPeY actually gets behind, successfully wins a piv, and gets the flag pull. And then Optic, who are sitting back, defending, then just push up at once and shut down SSG. But every time they've marched forward, there seems to be a sniper rifle to find them in the face. And now SSG again push the base, again look to try and pull a flag, and this one looks like it might be more successful.
Triple kill for StelluR. SSG is trying to get his apostles over the finish line here. Rockets again for Eco. And will he have better fortunes this time around? The rockets in his hand, the flag sent back home. Optic Gaming's defense almost unbreakable, it seems right now.
Deadzone will get a rocket for his reward as a kill. Did it fire off? Maybe it fired off, I'm not sure, but StelluR is going to be the one who takes a fight with Deadzone. There's the rocket I was looking for. Bound's going to have it, one to work with. Avoiding that shrapnel once again, but TriPPPeY was waiting. TriPPPeY has been so annoying to SSG so far. All 4 dead, and this is what they've been waiting for all game. Optic, they've sat back. They've defended, they've bided their time, but now they get the rockets, now they get the map control, and now they can finally pull a flag.
They sat back, they soaked up so much pressure, but now it's SSG's turn to play defense. Legend's under so much pressure, desperately trying to stay alive. Deadzone's in hot pursuit. Legend trades it out, but that's not going to be good enough. TriPPPeY's going to make it to the long haul position, but he gets shut down before he can make the cross.
Not far enough. This flag will be dead. It will be sent back. It was a valiant effort from Optic Gaming. The game plan was clear. You wait, you bide your time, and then you explode onto the other team. But it was Legend in the end who was able to just hold the fort for the rest of the squad. Lucid has a sniper rifle to work with now, though. And Optic's starting to push up a little bit more.
Optic starting to grow in confidence. The defense has worked expertly. Now taking pages out of their playbook for offense. They're tracing their finger along the one, along the lines. What can they read? What can they extract here from this game? They desperately need victory, or they'll be meeting FaZe in the elimination finals. Lucid still has that snipe, and they could be about to sing songs of all kinds of praise.
It's been Eco on the other side with a sniper rifle, though. He's been finding headshot after headshot, quietly going about his business, and lines up another, but that's a great push from Optic. They do it at the perfect time. 4 dead for SSG again. This time, Rockets will be spawning in 5. Rockets will be spawning as they run this flag. SSG are gonna have to work so hard to defend.
So much work to do for SSG. TriPPPeY's gotten a pick. Formal's going to fall. Rockets are still there. Overshield's been scooped up. SSG have the rockets. Here come the boom. But it does not matter. Optic Gaming have the capture they need.
Optic Gaming, who have sat back for so much of this game, have frustrated SSG, have allowed them to get kill after kill, pull after pull. But as soon as Optic gain control of the map, they make it count, and now SSG have to dig deep, because Optic are flowing with confidence.
Time now. Time is no friend of Spacestation. Just under 4 minutes to play. They've not even been able to get the flag over the halfway point. Sniper rifle shots continue to whistle through the air. Formal's got one. He's down to no shields. The backstab comes from StelluR. He's going to take a little tag of damage on the way in. He's forced backwards. Forced back to Mauler. And that's exactly what Deadzone and Optic Gaming want. Bound gets the kill. Lucid top tower. Formal continues to jiggle, but StelluR comes out on top. All 4 dead now for Optic Gaming, and Spacestation are on the march.
As long as there's no dodgy spawns here, this could be a very easy flag run for SSG. It's under bridge, there's no one to contest. Long haul will be the push for Optic, but I don't think they're going to be quick enough. This game is going to be tied up as SSG finally get that flag across the map.
StelluR restores parity. We're back at a deadlock. 1-1. Formal just avoids the shot. He's going to throw a sticky grenade, trying to perform miracles. And that's what Optic Gaming might need now. As the collapse comes through, the flag's pulled once more. 3 go down for Spacestation Gaming. Formal gets a trade. And now Optic Gaming have an opportunity.
Legend's done well off spawn, though, and I think the flag is going to die yet again. Optic backing off. Retreating back to their defensive position once more, start to rebuild that wall, and beg the question of SSG, can you break it again? Boy, would have Optic Gaming loved to have held on to that 1-0 lead, though. I think SSG cracked them at the right time, just before they started to get a little bit too frustrated. But Deadzone's looking, he's searching. They've got both snipers at the moment, do Optic, and they're trying to put them to work.
Deadzone's forced backwards. Back to the sanctuary of his teammate Formal. Overshield and rockets about to be in play once more. Deadzone shut down, no more sniper ammo to play with. Bound's got the rockets. The flag's being pulled. Overshield for Formal. And Bound's trying to nullify it here. He gets Lucid, but the flag's been stopped in its tracks again. Legend could not make any progress, despite the fact that Bound was trying to forge an opening. Again, Optic Gaming stands strong. Again, Spacestation struggle to breach the defenses, no matter how many times they lay siege here.
That does mean that both the rockets and the overshield will not play a part in these final moments before we potentially head to overtime here on Imperium. Something that can definitely play a part is sniper rifle and StelluR. 2 words that go so successfully together. StelluR has put on montage clip after montage clip all season long. All he needs to do is start to connect with these headshots, and it could be enough for SSG to get another flag on the move, but now he's out of ammo.
Out of ammo and out of time. Formal close the distance, got the kill. TriPPPeY has just leaked through.
TriPPPeY.
You spoke about how important, and if he gets that opportunity just to win one more PIV, Bound recognizes how important his life is now. Calling for help, calling for assistance. Lucid's top banana. Bound's gonna get that kill with 5 of the best. The fresh shots connect. Bound's down to no shields. Needs help, not going to get it. 2 dead for Optic.
30 seconds.
Although TriPPPeY did manage to find a way through, he was eventually taken care of.
Yeah, TriPPPeY gets found, which was important, otherwise it could have been a little bit shaky. It's gonna be one last push for one of these teams. If you win this fight, it looks more likely that SSG will go for a pull here, but there's always the chance that Lucid could be on the other side. 3 are dead on the side of Optic Gaming, as SSG are gonna make a last-ditch attempt here in this game to win right here with this flag.
StelluR gets absolutely nuked out of his boots. Lucid is S1. Lucid is trying to be a nuisance. We're into the final knock-ins of regular time here. The pie chart starts to dwindle away. Nobody from Spacestation in position. Both teams settling for overtime. Both teams know now. Next flag wins.
Back on spawn, started up yet again. What a game of 2 different stories here from these 2 teams. Optic really demonstrating how successful their defense has been all season. And it looked like the plan was going to be executed perfectly. But SSG then show why they are so good at attacking here on Empyrean CTF. They break that setup, they break the wall, and they tie us up 1-1. Now another 5 minutes on the clock for one of these teams to try and take this game.
Lqgend slides by, forces Deadzone to waste a rocket. Lucid does not have a rocket. Matter of fact, he has the wig wobbler, and he made sure the Frenchman wasn't going to be an influence for the next 7 or 8 seconds. Deadzone and Optic playing this one patient, waiting for numbers. And unfortunately for them, TriPPPeY and Lucid have gone down. And the Space Station relentless push continues. Pressure still being applied. Deadzone's desperately trying to do damage. Lqgend takes care of business. StelluR's got the sniper rifle. And he really puts the S in SSG, does StelluR. And he could be about to put a punctuation point in this series as the flag continues to move. The flag continues to groove. Optic Gaming are in pursuit, but they're not going to get close. Lqgend slams in that final flag. Space Station win the series 3-1.
Space Station Gaming get one step closer to the Halo World Championship. They are into the grand finals as they knock down the green wall. Lqgend, the European superstar, makes his first ever Halo World Championship grand finals. He's already made history, but he wants to make the history alongside SSG. They have been the dominant force here in the HCS all season long, and they prove it yet again here in the winners' final.
And that ever-elusive World Championship, they are now in the grand finals with that benefit being the winners. They've got one hand on that trophy. And now they sit and watch. They wait to see who their opponent's going to be. Will it be FaZe Clan or will it be Optic Gaming? But either way, they are in the driving seat of this championship.
And the resilience, the patience we just saw from Space Station in that Empyrean CTF. It is so easy to get frustrated when you go up against Optic playing that way, who were just sitting back, absorbing that pressure. And it was so close to being a master plan that just worked out for them. But SSG did not lay down, did not show their belly. They said, actually, let's get this job done here and now. And they find themselves now in the grand final.
And you can see from the series layout, that series was so close. Oddball 2-1, Flag 2-1, Slayer 50-47. There was so little to separate those 2 teams. But that has very much been Optic Gaming's story all season.
I think Optic know if they can get back into that grand final, they can still take a stab at SSG. It is not job done yet for Space Station Gaming. Optic will be waiting in the wings, but of course, they have to take down FaZe first, who will be waiting a little bit more eagerly in that elimination bracket.
Well, it's the coach of the year. He's got an interview with Blaze. Take it away, fella.